Figure out.
Daisy! Dino! 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 Lucy!
Haha.
Hi, baby.
Just so I can prolong this. Stop. Stop.
That is a cool... Oh, you're playing Lincoln Logs.
Essentially, fuck yeah, Lincoln Logs. Do that.
Baby.
Oh, do you need my tail? Oh, hi. Oh, hi. Doggy down.
It's like eating her arm. Thanks for teaching us about fire safety, Nick. What?
Why did I do it the first time?
It takes place as whole my life is small experiment to see how kiss the top of the things fucked us. But nothing changed during several school days. Day laborer at the school, Mr. G would make sure that Shannon spent 1 hour in his office. He forced it to suck it with far and to swallow his seed several times. When he seemed to enchant by making his kneeling to raise her hips, offering his largely cat of diffusion made him especially. And then, later in the day, it would be comforted in the office of Rick, is held by him during one moment, but also always being rolled up on the top of naked and resting in covering or as is well kissed on the floor or desk. The sex became much easier, like its direction of shame and humiliation faded, and its pleasure of the experiment increased. She hated the fact she had become a whore. She tried not to appreciate the things that which made her with her, but she lost many, and many times the battle it is unfair body were lost in the quiver of penetration by a puncturer. And although it was sure that it was in love with Rick, when it was lost in the joys of sexual heat, he did not really import if he were beautiful kiss of the puncture of Rick or tap of Mr. G's, which put balance its depths. Wednesday, Shannon made his house in manner after basketball. She had been kissed by Mr. G and Rick, who day and necessary evil a shower. Nobody was at the house because his/her parents had gone to close city to spend night dealing with sick relative. Shannon waited with interest to be alone this evening to spend time thinking and trying to appear outside what occurred in its life. It's referring to herself as it. It took the downpour of time to him, soaping its body everywhere. It noted that there were very weak contusions on its centres, because Mr. G had developed completely taste and suck and grip his titmouses. Because Mr. G had developed completely a taste to suck and grip his titmouses. Because Mr. G had developed completely a taste to suck...
Mr. G likes to suck at his titmouses, apparently.
Mr. G had developed completely a taste to suck and grip his titmouses. Even while it was held under warm water, Shannon felt that its body becoming awakened as it thought of the two men that seemed attentive by keeping its cat filled of sperm there. They're hot. As it thought of the two men that seemed attentive by keeping its cat filled of sperm there hot. Cutting off the water, it toweled quickly its beautiful body. It ran a comb by its hair and entered the room of bed. Feeling freely in its nudity, knowing that no one was in the house, it went to its planner when it saw something on the bed. It turned out what it was and immediately identified as one of the photographs Mr. G had taken the first time of it. That of putting itself on their knees and sucking the puncture. Nice image, huh? A voice indicated behind it, making its acute cry with fear. It turned and tried to cover its naked body while it observed a man. A naked man. A naked man in his room to be laid down. And then it looked at its face and was without voice. To astonish Shannon, your old Uncle Jerry, it was held ready its door, its eyes looking at its body while its fist rubs its puncture upthrust slowly. I think puncture's dick. I think.
You're a puncture.
You're a punctured mouth, face, nose. Shannon could see that its hanging balls were simply enormous. Shannon could see that its hanging balls were simply enormous.
Simply.
Uncle Jerry, what do you make here? She said gently. Gently said, her engordi spirit. What is that?
Probably a French.
Engordi spirit in a state of shock. Shannon Good, old Mr. Gee, is a buddy of the mine, and he said to me that he had some images of you. He gave me ones, and he just a little made of any sort of a thing in my spirit. I think spirit is arousal, actually. This makes sense. Thus I thought that perhaps I would pay you a visit tonight. He slowly started to make his manner towards the naked girl. Please, Uncle Jerry, no, do not make come more narrowly. Oh, not please. Shannon, like his walk continued by Uncle towards it. A smile on his face. Now, Shannon, that is not any manner of greeting your Uncle Jerry. Here, gives me a little kiss. And then it reached for it. Shannon was paralyzed as his/her uncle drew it in his arms. His sentrens run up against the muscles of his trunk. It was astounded too much with the day before turned its head, and consequently it felt its mouth of Uncle Jerry on his, embracing it while its hands wandered its body. Slightly the girl tried to fight, but its body was not any cooperation. Breaking the kiss during 1 second, his/her uncle said, when I saw this image, I just knew that I had to obtain part of this soft she-cat. She-cat. That you had hidden between your legs, rotten girl. Do you know how much time I looked at you and wished I could discover what one kiss's soft would be to you? Shannon answered against it. Its orders obscenes put fire in its covetousness, just as it made the hard puncture pressing against its soft belly. And with the knowledge which it was going to impart to subject to the desires lascivious of her uncle, he gently pushed back it towards his bed while he played. The end. Lisa has to spend the greater part of the order carried out through the posterior bench, with the relative one dressed much small, pulled to the advanced part over the relative enormous belly, capacity to around the cunt hole, and the kisses in order to come with the dildo.